How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode number 12 of the Rock the Buzzer podcast. And I've got some not really bad news, but some news for you guys to start off the show. A vlog will not be coming to the channel because I didn't record anything, because I just thought it was a good weekend not to work in general, because I consider this work as well. And I obviously take that very seriously. But hopefully, when I go to games next year, hopefully I'll be able to do that for you guys. But this weekend, it just didn't feel right to do so. So that's why a vlog will not be coming to the YouTube channel. And also, before we get started with the entire show, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe, and you can find all of my social media links in a Linktree link down below. NBA Roundtable, Bracket the Buzzer Podcast, Episode 12. Cavs destroy Bucks and lock in to the NBA play-in tournament. Yesterday, the Cavs concluded their stellar season as a whole with a destruction of the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks, 133-115. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love led all scorers in just 15 minutes of action with 32 points and 10 rebounds. Lauri Markkanen hit a very solid game, 23 points and 7 rebounds. Evan Mobley, yet another double-double. He had 18 points and 10 boards. Jetty Osman off the Cavs bench had 15 points and 4 rebounds. And Darius Garland had a quiet day with 11 points and 8 assists. But there is a reason behind that. I'll explain that here in a minute. For Milwaukee, Sandro Mamukelashvili had a team-high 28 points and 13 rebounds. Thanasis Antetokounmpo had 27 points and 5 rebounds. Jordan Nwora had 24 points and 10 rebounds. Whittington, I don't even know the guy's first name, had 18 points and 8 assists. And Rajon Tucker had 15 points and 4 assists. The Cavs' next game is the NBA play-in tournament, which begins when the Brooklyn Nets host the Cavs on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Cavs keys to victory. Feeling all the love. In just 15 minutes Sunday, Kevin Love had a game-high 32 points and 10 rebounds, made 8 threes on 10 shots total, and was a plus 15. Garland, LeVert, and Mobley all got deserved rest. Because the Bucks decided to concede Sunday's game to avoid the Brooklyn Nets, that is a fact. The writing was on the wall because the Milwaukee Bucks did not have active Giannis, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Serge Ibaka due to illness. Pat Connaughton did not play. Wesley Matthews did not play. Grayson Allen did not play as well. So basically, the entire Bucks rotation did not play yesterday at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Because of that, the Cavs were able to build a tremendously big lead, and this was done by the Bucks to avoid the Brooklyn Nets, because if the Nets beat us tomorrow night, they would be the 2 seed, and with the loss yesterday by the Bucks, they are now locked in to the number 3 seed, facing the Chicago Bulls starting this upcoming weekend. Also, as I mentioned, I apologize. I was looking at my notes here and something was a little off here, so I apologize if you hear my mouse going, but I'm just going to keep talking. Well, the Cavs, as a result, were able to rest Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Karis LeVert for a substantial part of yesterday's game. In fact, they were all kept under 25 minutes, which was much needed after a brutal run and minutes load on those guys, which they've had for the last several weeks. And finally, the final key to victory was the fans. As I said, I was at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse yesterday, and the place was packed. Yes, everybody was a little down because of Giannis not playing, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday only played 8 seconds for a contract bonus, which is great for him. So congrats to Drew on getting his not roster bonus, but contract bonus nonetheless. But the place was packed. It was great to see all the fans having a great time to conclude a stellar season by the Cavs, especially at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And to be honest with you guys, it just confirmed my decision of choosing the Cleveland Cavaliers moving forward as the team that I want to be a fan of, and cover the team moving forward. Yesterday just confirmed that for me, and everybody in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse clearly had a great time yesterday. An update on Jared Allen. Allen once again sat out yesterday's blowout win over the Milwaukee Bucks, dealing with his broken finger. But there is optimism that he will suit up tomorrow against Brooklyn, but head coach J.B. Bickerstaff is, quote, prepared to play without him. That is according to Chris Fedor of Cleveland.com. And here's my opinion on the entire matter. I saw him do his pregame workout prior to yesterday's game in Cleveland, and he looked as good as he could be to go, so I would expect him to play tomorrow in Brooklyn. Speaking of the NBA play-in tournament, let's start off with previewing the two Eastern Conference play-in tournament matchups. Obviously, first, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, the Nets have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but if Jared Allen suits up, and if they play like they did in Friday's loss, but you're adding Jared Allen to that equation, I think the Cavs beat the Nets. Yes, you heard that correctly. I'll say it one more time, and this is not me being biased. This is me just thinking, what if the Cavs had Jared Allen Friday night? Because the only reason why the Nets were able to squeak out of Barclays Center with the win and eventually the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference was the fact they won the offensive rebounding battle. And if Jared Allen returns tomorrow night, I'm not really that concerned about his in-game shape or whatever, because he's still in phenomenal shape. But hey, it's a finger. It's not a hamstring. It's not a knee. It's not any of those things. So with that said, add Jared Allen to that equation and cut the second chance point deficit that we saw on Friday night in half. And if you cut it in half, the Cavs win that game Friday night and essentially secure the number 7 seed in the East. All right. Also, the Cavs have very capable defenders to slow down Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Yes, Kevin Durant did score 37 points against the Cavs just Friday night. But who was defending him? Lauri Markkanen. And if Jared Allen slides into the lineup, which, again, I expect to happen, who is going to take that Kevin Durant matchup? Evan Mobley. And why do I believe Evan Mobley can handle Kevin Durant just fine? Because he's a lot quicker than Lauri Markkanen in every asset. And against Kevin Durant, you need a guy who's not going to commit stupid fouls. You need a guy with quick feet on Kevin Durant, and Evan Mobley provides both of those things. So if Jared Allen does play tomorrow night, and if Evan Mobley is on Kevin Durant, I think Kevin Durant has a challenge on his hands. And also, too, if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are shut down offensively, I believe, honestly, the Nets, without Ben Simmons, don't have enough to sustain a healthy Cavs defensive storm. Again, this prediction all hinges on the fact that Jared Allen plays tomorrow night in Brooklyn. In fact, if that is the case, the Cleveland Cavaliers come out on top on the road. Also, a little bit of Nets news for you Nets fans out there. Nets guard Goran Dragic has cleared COVID-19 protocol and will be available to play tomorrow night in Brooklyn. That is according to multiple reports. By the way, I apologize if you hear me, a little stuffy. In Cleveland, stayed in a room with no air circulation, and my body's trying to get used to being home again, and that's why you see a shadow of a fan in the background, and you hear another one over there as well. So I'm trying to get airflow back into my bedroom as well, because this is why I am stuffed up. I'm not sick, I'm not ill, I'm just a little stuffy from this weekend, but that's here nor there. Also, we are previewing the second play-in matchup in the Eastern Conference between the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks. The player that will separate these two teams is simply, as simple as it gets, Trae Young. Because both of these teams do not play defense whatsoever. And with the Hawks playing at home, I think Trae carries his team past Charlotte. And your winner is the Atlanta Hawks. Now, out west. First, commencing tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And breaking news coming in to the show, and it's not good news for Cavs fans. Jared Allen has been downgraded to out tomorrow night against Brooklyn. That is very unfortunate. To me, yesterday he looked as good as ready to go, but unfortunately the Cavs clearly don't want this injury to get worse. they just made a huge investment into Allen this past offseason. So I completely understand, but there comes a point to where the player needs to step in, and I think that point has come. But I believe Jared trusts the Cleveland Cavalier organization. But back to the Western Conference play-in tournament preview. First, between the LA Clippers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I kind of jumped the gun there a little bit. The Timberwolves are another one of the NBA's surprises this year, making it this far with a first-year head coach in Chris Finch, who, in fact, got his contract extended today. That has been made official by the team. Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and Anthony Edwards. But I do not think they have enough experience to overcome Paul George, who has returned with a vengeance from his elbow injury, a coaching wizard in Ty Lue, and the LA Clippers, even at Target Center. The winner of that matchup is the LA Clippers. And finally, the final play-in tournament matchup between the San Antonio Spurs and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Spurs have been on a roll as of late, led by first-time All-Star DeJounte Murray, but I think CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, if they play to their full potential, are just a little too much for the young Spurs to overcome. Your winner will be the New Orleans Pelicans. And now, before I move further, unfortunately, I have to do this. Because Jared Allen is out, if I'm, reading what I read right that came across my phone. Let me just take one quick look. Oh, it's not going to let me slide. So, with that said, I have to go with the Brooklyn Nets. But, hey, you never know. And to conclude this episode, but before I get there, I just want to confirm that Jared Allen is in fact out for tomorrow night's game. Let me just type in here, because again, I can't slide my phone up. So let's see. Yes. It is now not official yet, but Shams of The Athletic has confirmed that the Cavaliers All-Star center Jared Allen is out for tomorrow night's play-in tournament game against the Nets on Tuesday night. Again, that is horrible news for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they try to look to shock the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow night. The Cavs can do it, because anything can happen in the NBA, but it just got a whole lot tougher. And finally, what is next for the Los Angeles Lakers? As a result of having one of the worst seasons in recent memory, today the Lakers officially parted ways with head coach Frank Vogel. All of Laker Nation is asking, what's next? First and foremost, when I saw this tweet from Shams of The Athletic, I was in shock this was even a thing. It is not Nick Nurse. As reported by Shams, like I just mentioned, of The Athletic, shortly after Vogel's firing was made official, the Lakers are reportedly interested in quote-unquote trading for Nick Nurse, the head coach of the Toronto Raptors. First off, from a Nick Nurse point of view, why would you leave a place where it is stable and a place where he continues, meaning Nurse, to develop young talent like Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. and continue to preach out his message that is clearly working? And going to LA will be a chore for him because the Lakers are an old, and to put it simply, an organization with no stability and no true identity moving forward. In my opinion, this would make no sense, and I truly don't see this happening. Also, another Laker rumor, also reported by Shams of The Athletic this afternoon, is the Pacers could be interested in Russell Westbrook. Why would the Pacers trade for Russ? My answer to that is, I have no idea. From a Pacers point of view, to me, this does not make much sense. Considering where they are as an organization, rebuilding, trying to build a team around Tyrese Halliburton. Again, I do not see this happening unless they are that desperate to, quote, put asses in seats. Guys, that'll do it for this long, elongated episode here today. I apologize about no vlog. I apologize about stopping the show prematurely just for a second when we got the Jared Allen news, because it came right in as I was recording this video. Again, guys, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And I hope to see you all very, very soon on the next edition of the Brock and the Buzzer podcast.